Welcome everyone, it's Gray Shirt Guy, rocking the gray shirt as always. Today is the 26th of March, 2026, and the Adeptacon reveal was last night. So, naturally, I want to share my feelings about that. However, before we talk about that, in the background you will see a sped up video of me fixing an out-of-print Marauder destroyer that I accidentally knocked off the top of a cabinet a few weeks ago. Now, between school and a new World of Warcraft expansion launch, I have been avoiding fixing it. But I did manage to scrape together an afternoon, and honestly, it only took me about an hour and a half to put it back together. I will be doing some green stuff work to the noticeable areas of damage when I start my next guard project later in the year. But at least wanted to get this model put back together. The plan is to use green stuff to make little weld beads along the damaged cracks to show that it was repaired and then paint those to look silver. I think it will look pretty cool, but however, I already know that I need to do green stuff on my Praetorian Guard, so in the interest of not wasting any green stuff, I'll do the welds on the aircraft and the Praetorians at the same time. I need to fix some heads and necks on the Praetorians, and you do a little bit of gap filling, so I figured I'd just do them all at the same time. But of course, none of that happens until I finish the Sisters of Battle. Now, I'm behind on Sisters of Battle because, as I said, I've been playing a lot of WoW the last few weeks. I joined a raiding guild, and I'm a full-time student again. I went back to school to finish my degree, so Warhammer progress is a bit slow, but that's fine. Stuff happens. Now, back to Adeptacon. I don't know what they're doing, because every time they do a Warhammer reveal show, they have bad audio, they lag, they crash. Like, I don't know what they're doing. And, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it is not a great viewing experience. And not to mention, I get visibly disappointed the more I watch them. Like, there hasn't been a reveal show since, I think, when they refreshed Guard, ninth edition. I don't think there's been a reveal show that I thought was fun. And even then, I was like not optimistic when they re-revealed the Cadians, because it ended up resulting in so many things going to Legends that it just wasn't a good time. At least for my Guard collection, it wasn't good. But we watched it. I honestly, I should have just skipped it. I should have skipped it, and I should have finished some two delves in WoW and hung out with my wife and, I don't know, done something. And then I could have looked at the reveals on Warhammer Community, because at the very least, the websites got all the stuff that I saw in the reveal, and I would have had a much better time. But I'll do it again, and I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I won't ever learn my lesson. So that's where we're at. But now, I'm not going to talk about everything that was at the reveal show, because not everything at the reveal show really pertains to either things I'm working on or my interests. Sure, there was some Horus Heresy stuff, but it's not really what I'm focused on right now. And it was also mostly, it was like a Spartan, and then there was some Ogrins. So there you go. So we'll talk about 11th edition. We're going to talk about Armageddon. We're talking about Kill Team and Cities of Sigmar. There was a little new for the few of us that have Warhammer Plus. Yes, I still have Warhammer Plus. Yes, I know I shouldn't do it, but I always forget to cancel it, and I get that free mini. And so, air quotes, I'm not really, like, the mini's not free. It's like I'm paying $60 a year to have an exclusive mini that I never put together, never paint. But anyways, they did release a new trailer for like a little Aeronautica show, which is Imperial Guard versus Eldar, at least in the clip, so that's pretty cool. I actually have been really liking the Sisters of Battle Penitence episodes. I just wish that they weren't so heavy-handed when they made Warhammer Plus. That's just my opinion. I think we were getting a lot of good fun, on YouTube, but I get it. I know why they did it. It's whatever. All right, so let's talk about 11th edition. Not a whole lot to talk about. There's some good, there's some bad, there's some this is fine. The only thing I wanted was to know what was in the box. And of course, which this part doesn't make any sense. It's coming out in June. It's coming out in like 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Wait, hold on. April is like next week. So we got April, May, June. Yeah, within 3 months, it's gonna drop, and they're gonna slow roll the models in the box. Like, are they just gonna reveal everything next Monday? Like, what was going on here? We got a little bit of reveals about what models are in there. So they showed an intercessor that's got a different helmet. Does it have any, like, I couldn't tell that it had anything other than one of the older firstborn helmets. That's the only thing I could tell, because like the bolter looks very similar to the bolt rifle, and like everything else on it still looks Indominus-y. It's obviously an intercessor. I was hoping we were gonna get. So I feel like the tactical squad is going to be gone. So this is interesting because we'll talk about it. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. So codexes that you currently have for 10th edition are going to still work when they launch 11th edition. We're going to get some new detachments, 70 new detachments, however that spreads out. And of course, we're going to have a huge, thick FAQ rule and the points guidance and all that jazz. So we still have the tactical squad as of the launch. I was hoping we were going to get like a Primaris tactical squad. I know that's hopium. I was hoping at some point we were going to get intercessors where you can take a plasma gun or a melta gun and then a heavy weapon. I thought that would have been cool, but no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to have intercessors that have like older marks of armor. but are they still just going to be bolt rifle with different profiles and 2 grenade launchers? Is that all we're gonna do with intercessors? Because okay, well, the sergeant gets like a close combat weapon, so that's fine. So yeah, they showed off an intercessor with an old helmet. Cool. And then we go to orcs. So because it's Space Marines versus orcs, and for the longest time, so back in the day, I don't remember when the original orc. Well, the original one was way back in the day. But the more modern boys kit, I think it was like, I don't know, 2007 or something like that. That kit, in the box, you had enough bits to make 10 shooters or 10 choppas. And then you had like whatever the squad leader, he got like an extra power claw or whatever he got. And then I think you had a big shooter and a rocket and maybe a flamer, I think is what like the special weapon was. So the squad could have like a special, like their version of a sergeant. And then you would have choppas and shooters. And so that's how it was forever. And then they did a refresh sometime, was it like 2019, 2018, somewhere around there? They did a refresh, but the refresh was monopose. The refresh models looked great, but they were monopose, and you could only do 5 shooters or 5 choppas. And I think one of the special weapons was missing. But those were monopose, and everyone's like, oh, we're going to get multi-part like in like 6 months or whatever. And the multi-part orc boys never came. And GW just kept the old orc boys on the store. And I remember walking into a local game store like in my town and seeing both the old boys box and the new boys box right next to each other. And instead of fixing that, they made beast snaggers, and I freaking like, it's like, ugh, okay. Well, so they're air quotes fixing it for 11th edition. And okay, but you know what their solution is? Their solution is, why would you want choppas or shooters when you can have both? So now every boy is going to be equipped with a choppa, a slugga, and a shooter. And so I like, yeah, if you got the old models, just, you know, don't worry about WYSIWYG. They all got the same stuff. So, okay, that's their solution. And I mean, the new, they show off one boy, and he looks good. Like, he looks like a good orc. And it like, from what they showed with just like the Space Marines, like I was trying to decide if I was going to get 11th edition or not. But then my wife, she got really into orcs. She thinks they're cool. And so we're going to get orcs. I was hoping they were just going to fix it without doing this new rule change where you get to take both. Fine. Okay. We'll take both. You know, all right, cool. But I'm not going to get into the old orc boys. I'll just stick with whatever comes out in 11th edition, which is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with that. So I will get the box set for 11th edition. Well, actually, my wife's going to buy it for me because I'm not buying any Warhammer models in 2026, and she already said she would. So we're going to be doing. We'll definitely be getting the orcs. I'm curious to see. I want to know what else comes in the box. That's the whole reason why I stayed up late and watched the reveal shows, because I want to know what comes in the box. And it looks like we might get some Vanguard vets with jump packs, and those would be cool. Is it going to be a 5-man? Hopefully, because Stern Guards are a 5-man. Hopefully, Vanguard vets are a 5-man. 5 to 10 would be kind of cool. Be kind of cool to see that. And then, so I assume we're going to get 10. I assume we're going to get us 10 intercessors, 5 Stern Guard vets, some sort of land speeder, because they show what looks like a weird land speeder thing. And then a squad of close combat Terminators. That's what I think we're going to get, because they did show what looked like a captain with a shield. And then the box, obviously, it shows like what looks like could be Blade Guard veterans. It's either going to be Blade Guard veterans or it's going to be Terminators. I think it. Hold on, let me look at that. Let me look. Hold on, I got the webpage up. Looks like Blade Guard veterans. Yeah. So I think we're probably going to get some Blade Guard veterans. Maybe a heavy intercessor of some kind. Yeah, well, it does look like a heavy intercessor. So. But then again, what's on the box cover is not necessarily what models you're going to get in the box. So they did show on the orc side, obviously we're going to get boys. And we got a weird open-topped walker and a weird boy. So like a psyker weird boy. And like the psyker looked really cool. Like I thought the animation when he let out his psychic wave or whatever they call it, and he like melted an ultramarine, and then he like killed a bunch of other ones. I think he took a bunch of orcs out with him. And then, of course, Lamardius came in and smacked him over the head. Ooh, is Lamardius going to be... I don't think... No, yeah. Lamardius will not be in the box, because they already said that it's themed Blood Angels, but none of the models in the box are Blood Angels specific. So we're not going to get Lamardius in the box. He was just in the reveal video. So, okay. All right. We'll talk myself out of that one. So, yeah. We don't know what the models are. We'll all find out together. Army building, it looks like army building's not going to change significantly. They're just going to add some new detachments. That's cool. All right. I mean, I still like rule of 3 is fine. I kind of wish we, and this, of course, this is just me being jealous or me wanting to use the 9 basilisks that I have, because it used to be you could take 9 if you wanted to. But now we got rule of 3, so you can't do that. If you don't know, way back in the day, basilisks were in squadrons, so you can take, for every loadout, you could take up to 3, and so you could take 3 of 3, so you could take 9. So yeah, anyway, so back to the discussion. So it looks like army building's not really going to change. We're just going to get some new detachments. That's cool. I have played maybe 1 game of 10th edition, which is fine. I had a busy time, and like I mostly paint. But I like to paint and build my armies to where I can use them in a game if I want to. So, like, whenever I build and paint an army, and then 5 seconds later it's Legends, or it's, like, not a legal loadout for 10th edition anymore, I get a little flustered. But either way. Apparently, objectives. So, objective markers... I must have missed this, like I said, since I don't play that much. I must have missed it, because objective markers at some point became these big circles. Because, like, I still have the old objective markers from, like, 5th or 6th edition. They were, like, little skull guys. And, like, that would be the objective, because it made sense, because, like, you were trying to find the STC, or you're trying to find the little servitor or whatever. And then at some point they made them big. And then, like, that was the objective. And it never really made any sense to me that it was like that was the objective, because like narratively I was like, well, why would I stand in the middle of this street and claim this objective? Why wouldn't I go to a thing? And so now they're making the objectives, I guess they're like it looks like they're cardboard, but they're based upon the base of their whatever GW terrain they sell. So obviously they want it to be a terrain footprint, and they want it to be like a terrain, or they want it to be an item. And I think that's fine. I think that's perfectly fine. I'm good with that. That's okay. And then what they said and what is in the Warcom article about terrain, we're going to need some more clarification, because what they said was you can't shoot at something if it's in terrain unless you're within 15 inches, because it's unless it's shot or done something. So basically, like when the game starts, everything that's in terrain cannot be seen or shot at unless you're within 15 inches of it. And then, of course, a bunch of people are like, oh, shooting armies are dead, artillery armies are dead. But then I'm reading the article, and it says basically that cover, the default bonus for cover now impacts hit rolls, not saves. So that leads me to believe that basically if you're outside of 15 inches and you shoot at someone in cover, there's a minus to hit there. That's what the Warcom article suggests, not what they said, because it sounded like you couldn't shoot them at all. We'll get more clarification when that comes out. Like I said, I have a lot of artillery because I play guard, or at least I collect guard, and whenever I want to play, I want to know what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm not doing it wrong. So anyways, close combat looks sped up. That's fine. I do like to get crumping. So that's like 11th edition, and I just wanted to see the models. I don't care about the rules. I want to see more orcs because my wife wants to get into orcs, and I got Gazgul and a Stompa for Christmas. And so we want to do orcs after I do Sisters and Praetorian Guard, but like, I don't know, like, and we got Defilers coming out like next week or so. Well, they released the rules this week, the data sheets. We don't know points or anything. Probably the points might stay the same for a little while, but yeah. So now the real question is what is the Codex release cadence going to be, since the 10th edition Codex are still viable? Is it going to be a short cadence or a long cadence? We'll find out. But that is 11th edition. I really wish they would have just showed what models come in the box, but I guess they just wanted to. They wanted to keep the hype train rolling for the next 2.5 to 3 months before they officially drop. So are they going to just dump all of them on Monday, or are we going to see like, here is what all the boys look like on Monday? Or we already know what the war boss looks like by himself. That's probably going to be the same war boss that's in the box set. I don't know. Well, we'll find out. All right, so that was 11th. Let's take a quick moment to talk about Cities of Sigmar. So I had a big Empire army. So it was Cities of Sigmar when I first bought it, because I was playing Total War Warhammer 1 or 2. I think it was 1. And I beat the Immortal Empires with the Empire. And so I bought basically about 20 units worth, not full unit strength, but I bought 20 unit models worth that would represent my original Empire army with Karl Franz and all the state troops and everything, and the handgunners and the steam tanks, and I bought all that. I did eventually part ways with it when Old World came out and people were like wanting it, and I was upset because I based it on Age of Sigmar bases, but then they were like, oh, we're getting rid of Empire and we're making Cities of Sigmar, and the aesthetics different and the model sizes are different and everything is different for cities. So I ended up selling off my old Empire army, which is fine. I'm not like upset or anything about that. I didn't want to rebase them, and I didn't want to deal with like getting into Old World at this moment in my life. But so I divested from cities. Now my wife, as a joke, bought me the city starter set. Not as a joke, but like I asked for it. I wanted it. It looked really cool until I started painting it. And then it was like the worst slog of like 3 months. And so I was like, I never want to paint another Cities of Sigmar army ever again, or model ever again. And it was 100% my fault, because it's the way I built them. Cause like I fully assembled them, and I should have sub-assembled them, and they would have been a lot easier to paint, but they looked nice. Like, hopefully I'll be throwing up some pictures on this video. If I haven't already, hopefully I'll be throwing up some pictures. I like they look nice when I look at them in the case, but I never wanted to get any more Cities of Sigmar. I was just like, all right, I'm good. I'm done with that. And then they revealed the new Cities of Sigmar that are coming out, and we get cog forts. And I don't know about you, but that cog fort, it looks awesome. It looks so cool. It looks a nightmare to paint. That's going to be like 18 sub-assemblies. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing everyone's cog forts, and the fact that you can make an entire cog fort only army. Like, these guys look so cool, but yeah, I don't know. I like at some point in my life, I will have a cog fort, But is it going to be anytime soon? Absolutely not. Hold on. Let me turn off that freaking ringer on my phone. All right. So, yeah. The cogs for it look really cool. But the rest of the city's reveals, I don't know. Let me scroll down here. I do like the idea that I can use a cogs fort in any army because it's like an Imperial Knight. But you can use them in like your Chaos army. So I got a Slaves to Darkness army that I might throw a cogs fort into. That might be cool. But we get this weird like Chimera Hippogriff. They named it. They actually have a name for it. What is it called? It's a heliomorph, and it's got like it's got a snake tail. It's got two heads. One's a bird. One's a ram. Yeah, like. Yeah, there you go. It's like stuff like that was very prevalent in the old world. Well, in the old fantasy, like models like this, it looks cool, but it's also a bit unsettling, which I guess is Cities of Sigmar. They're unsettling. Now we get some new battle mages. The fire battle mage looks so cool. Like the flame coming off the battle mage, that looks awesome. The death battle mage, that I feel sorry for the guy because he's got like bells ringing in his head. I don't know. I always thought the gate gargants were weird. The fact that it's like a half giant, it looks like a half giant. It doesn't look like a full giant. But and then the fact that they have somebody riding on their back with a gun always made me go, why would I buy this model? Like and then we get new ones. We get new gargants with new people riding on the back. They're probably good in game. They just look goofy and like, yeah, I don't care that they have like a lady one now. That's fine. Like sure. Okay. It just seemed kind of weird to me. We got a new train piece. I like how they basically have the Marvel superhero hunter Kraken guy. He's got a tiger or a little panther, shadow panther. That's kind of cool. We get a priest, and we get some free guild gallants, which are just like foot knights. So if you got the Bretonians, the foot knights, they look cool. Like I wouldn't mind like if I ever build out my city's army, I could throw some of these guys in there. They look pretty okay. We get some new grenadiers. We already have. Hold on. I need to look this up. Free guild AOS. Free guild still helms. Hold on. I'm on the website. We're going to the Cities of Sigmar. We already have. Where are they? So we got the Steel Helms, which is our normal free guild troops. We got the Cavaliers, which are the artillery. We got the Great Cannon, which looks cool. We got the Marshal, blah blah blah. So we have the free guild Fusiliers, which are the guns and the shields. And now we're getting. Oof. Looks like I just noticed this. Looks like all of the Dark Eldar stuff is gone. And did they divest the orcs too? I think they might have divested the orcs from cities. Huh. Well, all right. Well, that's fine. So yeah, looks like the dark elves are. That's probably been forever. It's probably been super long. Yeah, but we got now we got a different melee shooting unit with the grenadiers. Okay. New tome, new battle. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Cities of Sigmar. I really love the Total War Empire aesthetic with Karl Franz, and Cities of Sigmar is like its own thing. And I typically play Human Warrior whenever I play things, so it's whatever. It looks cool, but it doesn't look appealing. That's what I was saying. I do really like the giant lady with a huge, the liger thing. No, what is that thing called? I don't know. It's like a tiger with giant angled wings and scorpion tail. I don't know what you call that thing, but I do think that looks really cool. All right, let's move on to Kill Team real quick because I got a beef with Kill Team. So new Kill Team came out, the Terror of Devland, whatever you want to say. So it's essentially the Red Terror from Tyranids. That model looks so freaking cool. So I do have Tyranids that I haven't built or anything. I still have all the Tyranids from the 10th edition launch, and I bought some extra Tyranids after that. And so, like, I still have Tyranids waiting in the wing at some point on a rainy day. And this Red Terror model looks really cool. So, like, I will pick this model up at some point. Like, I think the Red Terror is a awesome looking model. So, yeah, that's like the good model. Great. Looks awesome. I want one. The Spectre Squad Kill Team. Why, GW, could you not just make this Catachans? You don't have to make this like the Catachan Jungle Fighters, but why couldn't we have made it Catachan themed? It's Tyranids, and it's a kill team fighting against a big Tyranid. Why could this not have been Cadians? Like, or why couldn't it have been Catachans? Why did it have to be Cadians? It could have even been Allegians if you really wanted to. But it's Cadians. It's Cadians again. The planet broke before the guard did. And yes, I read the books. We have new Cadia. They've rebuilt. It's fine. But, like, we could have had Catachans. Is GW afraid of muscles? Are they afraid of, like, Macho Man, like, muscles from the 80s? Come on. And, like, I'm looking at them, and the models, they look fine. They look good. The Veteran Sergeant looks cool with his augmented arm and his little scope on top of his plasma gun with the gunner. Yeah, sharpshooter. Like, the models look good. I like them, but I don't want to buy them. I just want to just bring some Catachans out. Come on. If all they did was make a Catachan themed kill team, and that's all we got for like the next year or two, that's all we needed. And like, I know you can kind of paint these to look like Catachans, but like, it's not the same. I do like the little Vox Relay, little beacon guy. He's cute. So yeah. They did reveal, and then of course we get the Ambol re-release and the Zotes re-release. Oh yeah, okay. So the next model that would have actually went good with this kill team is actually, we're going to talk about it in the Armageddon section. So let's move on to the Armageddon section. All right. So in the Armageddon section, they revealed, and this is where like the audio went really bad. You can hardly like understand what they were saying, but we get a new. So Armageddon is canonically set this little flare up with Yarick. Yeah, it was announced a week or two ago. We're getting a redone Yarick. Yarick's not dead. The Yarick model looks good. Yeah, don't have a problem with it. I'll pick it up at some point. But Yarick is basically convincing, or is like trying to keep Armageddon from falling to this new Wa, and its speed freaks are like starting it off. So it's like speed freaks have like restarted like crap on Armageddon, and Gazgul, Thraka, and friends are coming later. So we get a new speed freak, and when it comes to orcs, I like every faction or every clan of orc except for the, what do they call this? What do they call it? Oh, come on. Oh, my brain stopped working for like 5 seconds. Where are they? Oh, no. Pain Boys. Yeah, Beast Nagas. Okay, so I like every faction of orcs except for the Beast Nagas. I just don't like them. I don't like their aesthetic. I think they look really goofy. And I know there's a certain level of goofy allowed in orcs. I just don't like any of the Beast Nagas stuff. And so like the Speed Freak guy, he looks cool. I don't know if I'm ever gonna pick him up, but he looks cool. Is a bike with he's got a claw arm, he's got a big minigun, got a big rocket pack on the back. Like, I think it's a cool looking model. It's really busy, but yeah, I think that one's cool. And then of course we're getting Yarick. Yarick looks nice. Commissar Graves. The Commissar Grave model by herself, standing on her own little 40mm base, or it looks like 40 or whatever it is, with her bolt pistol, her power sword, and her power fist. That looks awesome. I think that looks really cool. That is a very cool Commissar to proxy, or a very cool Commissar to do whatever with. But the version of her on the weird half track with the eagle scoop and the extra buddies in the back, I don't think I'll ever buy this. Like, I don't, even if it's like the best model ever. Like, obviously, if somebody gets it for me, that's one thing. But I don't think I'll ever spend my own dollar dues on this vehicle. If you can buy her standalone, because I think you have to buy the kit with the truck to get her standalone. So we'll see how that comes. Because I think the Commissar just on foot looks great. But I think the where she's standing on the top and she's like leaning the sword out, drive me closer. It's like it's the half track for me, and we'll talk about it. I don't like the half track. All right, so we get this big game hunter Inquisitor guy. He does not believe. I mean, like most Inquisitors, they don't look like they belong in 40K. They look like the whole universe of 40K is just kind of a little weird, silly joke, and it kind of is. The alien horse. I don't know how he's going to get this. I don't know how Inquisitors get away with using these alien horses, but it's a scary looking thing. So there you go. I mean, he's really like got that macho aesthetic. I think this would have been so much cooler if this guy was a kill team. If this Inquisitor was in the kill team, I think that would have been like 1,000 times better. Because like hunting the Red Terror with this guy, sure, you can have him with some Cadians, but like I think this guy would have been way cooler to hunt the Red Terror with. But that's just me. And then we're getting the new Sisters of Battle lady on a walker. It's like Inquisitor Cortez, or is it? No, not Inquisitor Cortez. I forget this guy's name. It's the other Inquisitor guy that was on the Dreadnought chariot. It's basically that. You get some melta missiles, which it took me a while to find the melta missiles, and then you get 2 heavy bolters and 2 heavy flamers. Cool, yeah. I'm pretty sure at some point I'll have to get this and I'll have to paint it. Yeah, it looks fine. It doesn't. I'm glad it's a character and not like a unit, because I don't know if I would want to I don't know if I'd want a bunch of these. Like, yeah, sisters should be sisters. All right, now we're into the guard motor pool expansion, and this is where I have some concerns and I have some issues. So we have in the guard a lot of transports already. We have the Chimera Classic. We got the Torox. The Scions have the Torox Prime if they want the Torox Prime. We got the Valkyrie. I know a lot of people don't flyers, but the Valkyrie's still around. We got the Stormlord. There's another Baneblade variant that also transports. I forget the name of it. But we have like at least 2 Baneblades that transport. We had the Crassus Armored Carrier. We had the Gorgon. The Gorgon was an open top to transport. We had so many transports. At some point, I believe the Termex drill was guard. Like, I think you could use the drill and guard as well. There were so many guard transport options that we either had or have, and I can't remember, because like the Salamander existed, but I don't remember if it had transport capacity. And the Talarn had their buggy. I don't think that was transport, but maybe it was. But we've had so many vehicles throughout the guard's existence, and then a bunch of them disappeared to Legends. They could have just made those plastic, but instead we get a half track that looks dumb. It's a dumb looking half track, and from what I understand, it's the same kind of half track with like a little bit of extra stuff as the Commissar half track. That's at least what it looks like to me. Some extra embellishments, but they come in 2 different kits. It's fine, whatever. And it looks like all you get on this half track is a heavy stubber. Maybe you might get more. You might get a little bit more, but I mean, I don't play bolt action, but it looks a lot like a bolt action half track from World War II. So, and it looks like maybe we get a smoke launcher on top and a heavy stubber, and that's it. It's open topped. Well, apparently you can close top it. Apparently they do have they didn't show it, but apparently you can put a top on it, so you don't have to paint the inside. My question is so in the photos it shows 2 guardsmen in the back and 1 guardsman on the gun. Do those 3? I'm assuming the gunner comes with it, but do the 2 in the back come with it? Because if they do, and you put the shell on top, or it looks like it's not even a shell, it looks like it's a canvas cloth thing. But if you cover the top, do you still have just like 2 extra guardsmen that would be sitting inside, and you can use them for something else? Because that's what I would do. Once again, it's Cadians. Cadians are always getting stuff. And then we get the Hippogriff ATV. Now, this thing, are they trying to replace all the Chimera tracks? Because like that's the theory in my head. Because it comes with the battle cannon. Now this model had a version of this vehicle. It had a slightly different name, but it existed way back in the day. Like way back in the day, there is a version of this that it exists. If I can find a picture, I'll show it. So like its existence, I don't have a problem with, but it's a concern because it comes with a battle cannon and what looks like a stubber. And then there's a Gatling version with a stubber. Maybe the stubber, I think the stubber is interchangeable. So yeah, it looks like you can have a melta gun or a stubber in the coaxial, and then you get a battle cannon or an onslaught cannon or a las cannon or a melta cannon, some sort of melta gun. And so my concern is that this is going to replace the Leman Russ or the Hellhound or the Chimera. I believe that they're trying to go away from the Chimera chassis, and like my worry is that by 12th edition that we're not going to have Basilisks, we're not going to have Manticores, we're not going to have Chimeras, we're not going to have Leman Russes. We're just going to have all the new stuff, and like instead of dealing with tracked artillery, we have the artillery team, and we have the field ordnance batteries, and we have mortars. And so like I feel like they're trying to get rid of the legacy motor pool and replace it with new motor pool. And is the Hydra gonna disappear? Because maybe at some point they're just gonna get rid of flyers altogether. Like, we know that you're still gonna be able to use your stuff, your 10th edition stuff, in 11th. So the flyers that are currently in the game are still gonna be in the game, supposedly. And I don't know. So this expansion of the vehicle, now it could be seen as expansion, but let's think about it 2 ways. One, we had a lot of guard go to Legends. A lot of guard vehicles disappeared, and that was sad. We lost a lot of cool stuff. Almost all of it was Forge World, but we lost a lot of cool stuff. So our motor pool did shrink significantly, but the grand scheme of things, not a lot of players were using the Forge World stuff realistically. So the air quotes competitive players never really used a lot of those because they were overcosted and they were underpowered. They were just big legacy cool models. So the motor pool shrank in 10th. It definitely shrank in 10th edition. And then now we're getting a few more vehicles, but I feel like they're, at the very least, the transport's unnecessary. I think the Centaur RSV is whatever. It's like whether we've ever had a version of this in the past or not, I don't think we ever needed to bring it back. Although it does look like a cooler Torox. Like, I thought this was just a Torox. I thought they decided that the front tracks on the Torox were dumb, and we were just going to do a Torox, and then we were going to get the Torox Prime mounted stuff. But no, this is not a Torox, although it does look very Toroxy. And so yeah, we're going to get that. We're getting the Hippogriff. The Hippogriff. So the problem I have with the Hippogriff is it looks cool, but where's the Hunter Killer Missile? I don't see where a Hunter Killer Missile could be mounted on this thing. And are we for the first time going to get, well, not for the first time, but are we getting a new vehicle that can't take a Hunter Killer Missile? Well, actually, wait. Can the Rogel Dorn take a Hunter Killer Missile? Hold on, let me look at the Rogel Dorn. Let me check that guy out. Rogel Dorn tank. I think it's got a Hunter Killer Missile on it. Let me look at this then. I'm pretty sure it can take one. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe they've just been slowly phasing out Hunter Killer Missiles. I can't tell. Hold on. Go to the source. Let me look at the rules, because maybe it can take Hunter. Maybe they just decided that Hunter Killer Missiles are too lush, and we're not allowed to have them. A single shot missile that you can only use once per game? Nope, not allowed. Not allowed in my guard. Let's see. Come on. I'm looking through the rules real quick. Just give me a moment. Just a moment, for pity's sake. Why is it taking so long? sheets. Rogel Dorn Belting. There we go. Okay, can it take? Oh, come on. I gotta pull up the freaking app on my phone. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the Rogel Dorn cannot take 100 killer missiles. So I guess maybe that's the goal. Maybe it's the big hunter killer missile. They're just like no one's allowed to have 100 killer missiles ever because if we don't have it, because right now you can take it on the Basilisk or you can take it on the Russ, but you can't take it on the Rogel Dorn. So if they just get rid of all of them, and then only 30K will have hunter killer missiles, and then you can take seeker missiles away from the Tau, and then no one has single shot weapons at all. I mean, that's the meta. That's the conspiracy. That's what I'm saying. All right, so yeah, Armageddon's going to come with a rule book. I don't like. Maybe at some point, if I have to buy it, I'll buy it. But if I don't have to buy it, I won't buy it. The Battalion box set, the Armageddon box set, it comes with two of the little tanks, 2 of the light tanks, a Rogel Dorn, and the new transport. And then it comes with 10 Cadians. I don't currently need 10 Cadians. And so since I don't need the infantry, I mean, I have a room for one more Rogel Dorn, but I'm not going to get it. It's not worth it. Good for any villain that wants it, though. So yeah, that's Armageddon. Now Armageddon's going to happen canonically before 11th edition. So the question is when is Armageddon going to be released? No idea. Maybe it'll be released in like April, maybe May. See, April would be a great time to release it. All of this Armageddon stuff to, have it hyped for like a month or two before 11th fully drops. I think that would be cool, but maybe it'll be May. But anyways, yeah. So that was mostly Adeptacon stuff. They did reveal some Weta Workshop, like Space Marine helmets and a giant bust of Mephiston. And I like Mephiston, but I'm not going to buy that. As far as Orcs is concerned, let's see. Let's talk about the good and the bad and the ugly. So the good, the cogs for it for cities looks cool. The Red Terror for Kill Team looks really nice. I'm glad that 11th edition was announced and that we're getting Orcs versus Space Marines because I look forward to seeing new Orcs. And I do like, with question marks, I do like the terrain rule where it's not an armor save increase but a hit decrease. I like that because I always thought like, I got toe and cover and now I get better armor save. I always thought that was kind of silly. It should be, I can't see you. Because like most of the guns in 40K can punch right through terrain, so it doesn't make any sense for it to give you like a better armor save. But either way, let's see. And then that was the good. Was there any other good? I mean, we're getting Yarrick back, so that's cool. Oh, okay, yeah. So they did really small snippet. Everyone bullied GW well enough, I guess, that they are going. Steel Legion is 2 to 3 years out. So they brought Yarrick back, and then they had the video, and in the video was Cadians and Krieg were in the video. Not even Catachans. They can't even throw a slice out for us. Come on. We don't get kill teams, and we don't even show up in the video. They had a jungle sequence in the video, the Yarrick video, but it was Cadians in the jungle. So we're getting Yarrick, and where's my train of thought? So that's good. That's a good thing. I do like a new Yarrick. I forgot where my train of thought was going. Anyways, the train has left the building, folks. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching me fix the Marauder Destroyer in the background. I've been ranting for about 40-ish minutes, almost 45 minutes. So I will leave you there, and hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, that's all I got. Goodbye.